Does this scene feel familiar? That first cup of the day, where you're not just waking up your mind, but you're negotiating. You're taking inventory. How do the knees feel today? Is that shoulder going to cooperate? You run a hand over your face and feel that the skin doesn't have the same life it used to. It's a quiet, personal moment that so many of us experience, but rarely talk about. It's that subtle, creeping stiffness in your hands that makes opening a jar a frustrating battle. It's the ache in your hips that makes you think twice about getting on the floor to play with your grandchildren. And it's looking in the mirror and seeing skin that feels less like you, thinner and more fragile than you remember. These aren't just small aches and pains, are they? They are whispers of a deeper fear, the fear of losing our independence, of our world shrinking, of becoming a burden on the people we love most. And so we fight back. We hear about the latest health trends, and one of the biggest right now is bone broth. We see it everywhere, touted as a miracle elixir for our joints and skin. We're told it's packed with collagen, the very protein that keeps our joints cushioned and our skin firm. So we spend our good money on expensive, pre-made broths or spend hours simmering bones in our kitchen, hoping for relief. But what if I told you that for many of us, that's like trying to build a brick house by just buying a truckload of bricks, but forgetting the mortar? What if the most powerful, most critical component for rebuilding your body's collagen isn't the collagen you eat, but the spark plug that tells your body to make its own? Stick with me, because in this video, I'm going to reveal an incredibly cheap, common food that provides this essential spark in abundance, far more than you'd imagine. And I'll explain the simple science of why focusing on this nutrient is the real secret to supporting your joints and skin as you age. You are in control of this process, and it doesn't have to drain your wallet. It's completely understandable if you feel a bit skeptical or even frustrated. You've been told one thing, you've invested your time and money, and the results might not be what you'd hoped for. This feeling that you're just throwing money at a problem without truly understanding it ends today. We're going to replace that uncertainty with clarity. We're going to move from passively consuming products to actively empowering our own bodies. But before we dive into the incredible science of how your body actually builds its own collagen, I want to make this a two-way conversation. This channel is a community, a place where we share and learn from one another. So, I have a question for you. What is the one joint or the one aspect of your health that you think about most? Is it a knee that protests when you climb the stairs? Your hands? Your back? Pause the video for just a moment and share it in the comments below. Your answers are so important. They guide our future conversations and help everyone here feel a little less alone in their journey. And if you're new here and find this conversation valuable, please consider subscribing. It's the best way to ensure we can continue to tackle these important topics together. All right, are you ready? Let's start by pulling back the curtain on this collagen mystery. It begins with understanding what collagen actually is, and why simply eating it isn't the whole story. To truly understand why a simple bell pepper can be more powerful for your joints than a cup of expensive bone broth, we first need to clear up one of the biggest misunderstandings in modern health, the great collagen misunderstanding. For years, we've been sold a very simple, very appealing story. You lose collagen as you age, so you should eat more collagen to replace it. It makes perfect sense on the surface. If your car is low on oil, you add more oil. If your body is low on collagen, you add more collagen. But here's the crucial piece of the puzzle that is almost always left out. Your body isn't a simple container. It's a highly sophisticated factory. Imagine for a moment that your skin, your cartilage, your tendons, all the connective tissues that give you structure and flexibility, are like a complex and beautiful building. Collagen is the steel scaffolding of that building. It's the rebar in the concrete, the framework that gives everything its strength and integrity. As we get older, it's true, our body's ability to produce this scaffolding slows down. The construction crew gets a little older, a little slower, and some of the workers might even retire. So, our building starts to show wear and tear. The walls, our skin, get a little thinner, and the foundations, our joints, start to creak and groan. Now, here's where the misunderstanding comes in. When you drink a cup of bone broth or take a collagen powder, you are essentially consuming the pre-made scaffolding from another building, in this case, an animal. The marketing wants you to believe that this pre-made scaffolding travels directly from your stomach to your knee or your face to patch things up. But that is not how our magnificent digestive system works. Your digestive system is a disassembly line. Its job is to break down everything you eat into its smallest possible components. Think of it like a Lego master builder. If you have a pre-built Lego airplane, the collagen from bone broth, but what you really need to build is a Lego car, your own unique collagen for your skin. You can't just stick the airplane's wings onto the car's body. It won't work. First, you have to meticulously break that entire airplane down into its individual Lego bricks. That's exactly what your stomach and intestines do to the collagen you eat. They use acids and enzymes to dismantle it into its fundamental building blocks. Amino acids, primarily glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. These individual bricks are then absorbed into your bloodstream. Your body doesn't see collagen floating around. It sees a fresh supply of amino acids. This is where so many of us feel that sense of quiet frustration. You've been so diligent. You've been drinking the broth, spending the money, putting in the effort, but you wake up and that same familiar ache is there to greet you. You feel that stiffness in your fingers when you try to button your shirt. It's a deep-seated disappointment that can make you feel like your body is letting you down, that it's simply not responding. But your body isn't failing you. It's not ignoring you. It's most likely just missing the instruction manual and the tools. You've successfully supplied the bricks, the amino acids, but the factory workers in your body are standing around with a pile of raw materials, waiting for the signal, waiting for the essential tool that allows them to start building again. So, we've supplied our body's construction site with a fresh delivery of amino acid bricks. But as we just discussed, those bricks are useless without the master tool that binds them together. That tool, that indispensable foreman of our collagen factory, is something you've known about your entire life: vitamin C. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Vitamin C? That's it. The thing I take for a cold. And I understand that reaction. It sounds almost too simple, too common to be the powerful secret we're looking for. But its role in your body is one of the most profound and most overlooked stories in human biology. Vitamin C isn't just a shield against sniffles. It is the non-negotiable, essential catalyst for collagen synthesis. Without it, your body physically cannot produce functional collagen. It's not that it does a poor job, it can't do the job at all. Let's go back to our construction site analogy. We have our pile of amino acid bricks, glycine and proline. Your body's cells, the workers, start lining them up into long chains. But these chains are flimsy, like loose threads. To create the strong, triple helix structure that gives collagen its incredible strength, the structure that makes your skin bounce back and your cartilage tough. These chains need to be woven and welded together. This is where vitamin C comes in. It acts like the master welder on the crew. It activates two very specific enzymes whose only job is to perform a crucial chemical reaction. This reaction locks those flimsy chains together, creating a stable, resilient, and powerful matrix. Without vitamin C, the welder has no torch. The chains remain weak and unstable, and the collagen that is produced is fragile and falls apart easily. This is not a theory, it's a biological fact. We've known for centuries that a severe lack of vitamin C causes scurvy, a disease where old wounds reopen, gums bleed, and joints deteriorate, precisely because the body can no longer produce the collagen needed to maintain its own tissues. Now, think about this in the context of your own body. You're not likely to get scurvy, but could you be running on a low-grade, chronic deficiency? It's that feeling when your skin seems to bruise at the slightest touch. A little bump against the corner of a table that leaves a deep, dark mark for weeks. That's a classic sign of weak capillaries, tiny blood vessels whose strength depends entirely on a strong collagen network. Or perhaps it's a nagging joint that doesn't just ache, but feels unstable, as if the cushioning isn't as solid as it once was. You've been providing the protein, but the welder has been running on low power, so the repairs are weak and temporary. This is why focusing on vitamin C is a game changer. And this brings us to the hero of our story, the food that often gets overlooked in the shadow of citrus fruits. I'm talking about the humble, crunchy, and incredibly versatile bell pepper. Specifically, the red bell pepper. Ounce for ounce, a red bell pepper contains nearly 3 times the vitamin C of an orange. A single medium-sized red bell pepper can provide well over 150% of your recommended daily intake. It's a powerhouse. And the best part? It's cheap, it's available everywhere, and it's easy to add to your diet. You don't need to cook it into some complex recipe. Slice it up and have it as a snack. Chop it into your morning omelet. Toss it into a salad for a vibrant crunch. It's a simple, daily habit. And because vitamin C is water-soluble, your body can't store it. This means consistency is key. A little bit every day is far more effective than a giant dose once a week. All right, our collagen factory is starting to look much more efficient. We've hired the master welder, vitamin C, providing it daily with vibrant foods like red bell peppers. We've supplied the essential amino acid bricks through a good, protein-conscious diet. But even the best construction crew in the world can't make progress if there's a saboteur on the work site, actively trying to tear down the scaffolding as it's being built. This saboteur is silent, it's pervasive, and it's one of the biggest drivers of aging in the modern world. I'm talking about excess sugar and the destructive process it triggers in the body called glycation. Think about what happens when you heat sugar in a pan. It melts, turns golden, and then, if you're not careful, it becomes dark, sticky, and hard. That delightful caramel eventually turns into a brittle, almost glass-like substance. A similar, albeit slower and more complex, process happens inside your body when there's too much sugar floating in your bloodstream. This process, glycation, is essentially a random, uncontrolled chemical reaction. Sugar molecules, like little sticky vandals, latch onto proteins all over your body. And which protein is the most abundant in your body? Collagen. When a sugar molecule attaches to a collagen fiber, it creates a harmful new molecule called an advanced glycation end product, or an AG. These AGs are bad news for our tissues. What they do is act like rogue welders, fusing together collagen fibers that should be separate and flexible. They create crosslinks, making the normally strong and supple collagen matrix stiff, rigid, and brittle. Imagine a beautifully woven basket. Now imagine pouring glue all over it. It's no longer flexible. It's just a hard, useless lump. That's what glycation does to your collagen. And you can see and feel the results of this. In your skin, this is the difference between soft, age-related sagging and the deeper, cross-hatched, almost leathery wrinkles that come from years of glycation damage. It's when your skin loses its elasticity, its bounce back. But where you truly feel it is in your joints. Think about that morning ritual we talked about. It's that feeling of profound stiffness that goes beyond a simple ache. It's a creaking, cracking sensation, as if your joints have lost all their natural give. That's the feeling of cartilage that has become brittle. It's the sensation of tendons that don't stretch fluidly but feel like old, dried out rubber bands, ready to snap. It's a deep, frustrating feeling that can make you hesitant to move, scared to trust your own body for fear that a simple twist or turn could lead to injury. You've been providing all the right materials for repair, but this sticky saboteur has been working against you the entire time, making every effort less effective. This is where true empowerment comes in, because you have direct control over this. This is not about declaring war on all sugar or living a life devoid of pleasure. It's about awareness. The biggest culprits are often the hidden sugars, the ones in your bread, your salad dressings, your pasta sauces, and especially in low-fat products where sugar is added to make up for the lack of flavor. The first, most powerful step is simply to start reading labels. You will be shocked. The second is to focus on simple, intelligent swaps. Instead of sweetened yogurt, choose plain Greek yogurt and add a handful of berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon, a spice that can actually help with blood sugar regulation. Instead of a glass of orange juice, which is essentially sugar water without the fiber, eat the whole orange. The fiber slows down the sugar absorption, preventing that damaging spike in your blood. Choose water or unsweetened iced tea over sodas and other sugary drinks. By managing the amount of excess sugar in our diet, we are actively kicking the saboteur off our worksite. We are protecting the new collagen our body is so diligently trying to build. We are preserving its flexibility and its strength. We have assembled a truly incredible internal system. We have our supply chain delivering high-quality amino acid bricks. We have our master welder, vitamin C, on site every single day, ready to work. And we've hired security to kick out the sugary saboteur that tries to make our structures brittle. Our collagen factory is pristine, efficient, and ready for action. But there's one final, crucial component we need: a work order. A construction crew, no matter how skilled or well-equipped, will not start building or reinforcing a wall unless they are told that wall is important. They need a blueprint, a directive that says, this spot right here, this is a high-traffic area. It needs to be strong. Invest our best resources here. In your body, that work order, that clear and unmistakable signal, is not a food or a supplement. It is the force of gentle, consistent movement. This is perhaps the most empowering piece of the entire puzzle. Your body is incredibly intelligent and economical. It will not waste precious resources, your amino acids, your vitamin C, building and maintaining tissues that it doesn't think are being used. The primary way your body knows a tissue is being used is through mechanical stress. When you walk, the pressure on the cartilage in your knees sends a signal. When you lift a grocery bag, the tension in your tendons and ligaments sends a signal. When you stretch your arms overhead, the cells in that tissue matrix receive a signal. These signals are received by specialized cells called fibroblasts, which are our literal collagen factories. Mechanical tension stimulates them. It wakes them up and tells them, hey, we're under load here. We need to be stronger to handle this again in the future. Fire up the assembly line and produce more strong, high-quality collagen. This is the fundamental biological principle of use it or lose it. But here is the heartbreaking paradox that so many of us fall into as we age. A joint starts to hurt. A knee gets stiff, a shoulder aches. Our first instinct, and often the advice we receive, is to rest it, to protect it, to baby it. So we stop taking the long walks we enjoy. We hesitate to lift our grandchildren. We avoid reaching for things on the top shelf. And while this seems like a sensible way to prevent further pain, we are inadvertently sending the exact wrong signal to our body. By immobilizing the area, we are telling those fibroblasts, this area is no longer in use. You can stop investing here. In fact, you can begin the disassembly process to conserve resources. This creates a vicious, downward spiral. The pain leads to less movement. The lack of movement leads to weaker collagen and more fragile tissues. The weaker tissues then lead to more pain and instability, which in turn leads to even less movement. Have you ever experienced this? Where you rested a sore joint for a few weeks, only to find that when you tried to use it again, it felt even weaker, stiffer, and more vulnerable than before. It's a profoundly disheartening experience. It can make you feel trapped, as if your own body has turned against you, punishing you whether you move or you don't. The solution is not to go out and run a marathon or lift heavy weights. The key is not strain, it is stimulation. It's about reestablishing that communication with your cells through gentle, intelligent movement. This can be as simple as incorporating movement snacks into your day. While you wait for your tea to brew, do 10 gentle knee bends, holding onto the counter for support. While you watch the evening news, slowly rotate your ankles and flex your wrists. When you get up from your chair, take 10 extra seconds to reach your arms up to the ceiling and take a deep breath. These small acts send those vital, "We're still open for business" signals to your joints. For a more structured approach, walking is unparalleled. It is a low-impact, rhythmic movement that puts positive, constructive stress on your hips, knees, and ankles. It tells your body that these joints are essential for your mobility and independence. Tai Chi or gentle, modified yoga are also magnificent, as they focus on slow, deliberate movements through a full range of motion, ensuring that every part of the joint gets that life-giving signal without being overloaded. By embracing gentle movement, you become the foreman of your own body. You are not just providing the materials, you are now directing where they go and what they build. You are breaking the cycle of pain and immobility and replacing it with a virtuous cycle of movement, strength, and confidence. When you put all of these pieces together, the protein building blocks, the vitamin C spark plug, the removal of the sugary saboteur, and the work order of movement, you realize something profound. You are not a passive victim of aging. You are the active and capable manager of your own incredible internal renewal system. So, let's take a step back and look at the journey we've just taken together. We started this conversation feeling a quiet sense of frustration, didn't we? A feeling that our bodies were becoming unfamiliar, that the answer must lie in some expensive bottle or complicated trend, like bone broth. We were looking for a magic bullet to patch up the problem from the outside. But what we've discovered is something far more profound and far more powerful. We've learned that the real magic, the real power, isn't something you buy, it's something you awaken. The solution isn't outside of you. It's inside of you, waiting for the right instructions. This isn't about just one cheap food. It's about a new understanding. It's about seeing your body not as a structure in decline, but as a dynamic system that is constantly trying to heal and rebuild, a system that you can actively support. It's a simple, four-part symphony that you are the conductor of. You nourish it, providing the essential protein building blocks. You activate it, using the critical vitamin C spark from simple, vibrant foods like a red bell pepper. You protect it by mindfully reducing the hidden sugars that make your tissues brittle. And finally, you stimulate it, sending the clear and direct work order through gentle, life-giving movement. Nourish, activate, protect, and stimulate. Those morning aches, that stiffness in your hands, the skin that feels fragile, they are not a final verdict. They are a conversation. They are your body's way of asking for help, of asking for the right tools. And now, you have those tools. You have the knowledge to respond with wisdom and care. You are the architect of your own well-being. This is the very definition of empowerment. It's the shift from feeling like a passenger in your own health journey to confidently taking the driver's seat. It's the knowledge that your daily choices, that slice of bell pepper, that short walk around the block, that decision to read a food label, are the most powerful medicine of all. This is how we reclaim our vitality, our independence, and the joy of living fully in the bodies we have at any age. If this conversation has given you a renewed sense of hope or a clear path forward, I would be so grateful if you take a moment to like this video. It's a small click for you, but it sends a powerful signal that helps this important information reach other seniors who are looking for these same answers. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. This isn't just a channel. It's a community where we navigate the journey of healthy aging with clarity and support, and I'd be honored to have you with us. Thank you so much for your time and your trust. Remember, you are the expert on your body, and you have the power to build a stronger, more vibrant tomorrow, one simple, consistent choice at a time. Be well, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.